even before we started working together, I had this admiration of the way she works in terms of managing her time. She does a lot of things. And how she's able to manage that within 24 hours is something I have started to learn time management, seeing that if she can do so much after having so many responsibilities, I have much lesser responsibilities, and still, if I'm not able to do that, I can see that and learn. So that is where my connection or looking up to her started.
Along with that, the learnings, the growth, and the opportunities to explore were immense over here. So whenever I have asked for any opportunities, I was not denied those opportunities. Even if I have failed, but I was never denied those opportunities.
Okay. And what was your reason, apart from saying that I can't say no to her?
Maybe. Not a yes, not a no. Right now, it's too early to even frame in the direction Thriving Inspirers is right now going into.
So it has taught me two things. One, to work, to do the hard work and the smart work at the same time. And the other thing is, it has given me the flexibility to work on different things that I want to work on.
And personally, I feel in looking at life step by step rather than a very bigger long term picture, because the long term picture is impacted by a lot of things. It's not just you, it's you and the world around you, your family, your work.
Okay, as you already know me a lot, but still for the audience, I'm Neelima and I'm working as a program manager with one of the corporate MNCs. I'm into software for last 19 years. Apart from that, I am also working, or not working, but serving in Toastmasters, working on my business. And I'm also a published author, an artist, try to do a lot of things apart from my day-to-day job.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Sanjana. I am working as a software developer in one of the MNCs, and like Neelima, I am also an established Toastmaster. And apart from that, I am very enthusiastic about art, craft, colors, styling, and I'm also into content writing now.
So you mentioned about color, styling, art and craft. In fact, both of you mentioned about author, you are an author, artist, Toastmasters, your regular job, and coaching and everything. How all do you manage?
About learning time management. This is something I've learned over time. One person I learned it from is her, and others is through regular things in life. With everything I've been doing in life, I've always tried to learn something extra. And then from there, I learned balancing my time. Then time management came in, and then over the years with Toastmasters, it became a regular practice. That is why I'm able to juggle between everything.
So is it only about learning things, or you are doing some extra works with this, apart from your regular job?
Framing into extra things. Now things have started to frame now. Up till the last few months, it was more about learning, and now it's about executing those, bringing them into a more perfect frame or a more structured manner.
Wonderful. And what about you, Neelima?
So, in order to do a lot of things, you have to shun doing certain things. वो कहते हैं ना कि कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. तो वो खोना, what you have to lose, you have to find that. For me. So, for example, I hardly watch any TV or OTT.
Okay.
People spend hours on that, or I do not watch any social media. I have my presence on social media, but it's restricted to 1 hour, but half an hour of LinkedIn, half an hour of Instagram. So you have to limit certain things to take out that time for yourself, what you want to focus on. So that's how I manage my time, and you have to prioritize a lot on a regular basis. It's not about just कि एक बार प्रायोरिटाइज कर दिया और छोड़ दिया, नहीं. यू हैव टू डू इट ऑन ए डेली बेसिस. मतलब आज मेरी प्रायोरिटी मेरी डॉटर होगी, तो कल मेरी प्रायोरिटी मेरा जॉब होगा, परसों शायद से मैं टोस्ट मास्टर्स पे फोकस्ड होकर काम कर रही होंगी. सो यू हैव टू डू इट ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस, ऑन ए डे टू डे बेसिस, दैट व्हाट्स योर प्रायोरिटी टुडे दैट यू वांट टू वर्क ऑन. And that's how you manage a lot of things in one go. There is no perfect balance. It's just about prioritizing on a regular basis.
So how do you learn this about prioritizing? Is it because of Toastmasters you are involved in, that time management you learn about, or is it something that your professional life taught you?
It's not about, this comes when you are juggling between multiple roles. It comes to you gradually. Once, there was a time in my life when I was just focused on my personal like my daughter, and my professional life, my job. So there was just two parts of it. Then Toastmasters came into picture. Now you have to take something out of your life to bring in something else into it. So you have to prioritize it accordingly, right? So that's how you have to do it. So you firstly you have to find out what you are passionate, what you want to focus on. And that's what I have learned over the years. It's not just that I have learned it now, it's over the years with practice I've learned it, that there is nothing called a perfect balance in life.
So is it that you were working as a professional, your family first of all, then came professional, you could take out the time from personal life and devoted some time to professional. Then came the third thing, that is Toastmasters. It was divided among three things. And similarly other parts.
Yes.
So is it the same case with you too?
More or less, yes. But I think the balance also changes every day. So with everything new coming in, you realize how much time you need to give here, how much time you need to take out from something. And when you're passionate about something, then your mind runs towards doing that. And when you're spending time there, you'll realize that you're automatically removing time from things that are not adding to you. So some days you're drawing boundaries to something, the other day you're giving more time because that requires more time there. For example, sometimes I'm not giving time to my family, I'm giving more time to work because I know that day work is important, and that is the balance. Some days when work is light, I'm like, okay, let's work a little less today. I can give more time to my family because they need more time that day. So the balance changes every day, and it's also about what do you want to prioritize on that day and where do you want to go. That also makes a lot of difference. If I want to go in a certain direction, I'll have to give more time there. So you keep finding out that balance in the direction you want to move.
So in this, while finding out the balance and everything, so your family is happy. Are they fine that because as far as I know, you live far off from your office, which usually takes an hour and a half to reach your
That's
office.
the least it takes.
It can be more. And so then you come for Toastmasters also and other activities
Yes.
in Gurgaon, which again takes an hour or two, almost daily of your time.
Not daily. I travel at least maybe around once or twice a week.
Okay.
And where the question came from, they're not.
They are not.
Yes. When I have to come to Gurgaon, it's like at least half a day going there. And I have to plan according to that. And I come from a joint family. And everybody has expectations that I'll spend time with them. And for the last 1.5 years, that is the only complaint. That even on weekends, I'm not spending time with them.
So apart from your professional life, your Toastmasters and other, I'm sure art and craft, color styling and everything, you are from the joint family and they also want your time.
Yes.
Which you are not able to give proper time.
Yes.
That you are not.
That is what I'm saying. If you want to go in a certain direction, you have to pull back time from somewhere. Right now, I'm pulling out time from there, which is fine.
Yeah.
For now, I have given them enough time when I wasn't contributing here, and when maybe I'll stabilize a little more professionally, then I can give more time there. Then I can balance that out. Right now, I can afford to give more time to my profession. That is why I'm giving more time here. When there would be a need of more personal time, then maybe I'll have to pull out time from there.
So as far as I know, you both work in the same company. I think you have 15 plus years of experience, and you almost 10 years of experience in the same company, right? I would like to know about your experience in your company. How has been the journey so far?
Okay.
Starting from you. Yeah.
For me, I'll complete almost 9 years in the next coming months. I joined as a fresher in this company.
So this was your first company?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason I stayed earlier was much different than what is keeping me now. The reason I stayed here initially was because I was scared of trying into new companies. Honestly, I managed to get into here without an interview. It was only through written exams, and I dreaded interviews at that time. So I never gave an interview to come here, and that is what kept me comfortable for a very long time. But then the kind of learnings I got here, the kind of atmosphere I got here, the kind of opportunities I got here, kept me now. I was able to explore my skills. I was able to turn things in the manner I wanted to run. I had the flexibility of time, the flexibility of giving my ideas, the flexibility of learning at my own pace, and that is what kept me here. And then the other doors had opened. Toastmasters is something that came through the company. So that is also one reason that I was interested in the way they work. It was very flexible, it was accepting, and that is why I still continue. And now since I have that comfort, I'm able to do other things. So now it is the comfort, but in a learning manner that is keeping me.
Oh, wonderful. And what about you?
So as Sanjana said, it's the comfort, obviously, that keeps you going as well. It's the comfort zone But apart from comfort zone, being in the same company for 19 years, I also started as a
19
fresher.
years.
19 years. I'll finish 19 years in January. So, what kept me going with this company? It is not about that I did not have opportunities outside, but initially it was certain personal struggles that I was going through that kept me going with this job. But afterwards, it along with that, I will not say afterwards, but along with that, the learnings, the growth, and the opportunities to explore were immense over here. So whenever I have asked for any opportunities, I was not denied those opportunities. Even if I have failed, but I was never denied those opportunities. I was given those opportunities, so that those became my learning areas. So those became my stepping stones into this corporate journey. And apart from that, it also gave me learnings which helped me grow in other directions as well. For example, I have certain passions, as I have said. I'm an author. I'm into art and craft. So it gave me directions that I can also follow. That I can also follow my own passion along with doing my job. So it gave me that flexibility. Right now, if I'm working for maybe at times I work for 12 hours a day. At times I work for 8 hours a day. At times I work for 4 hours a day. So it is giving me that flexibility that I can stretch my day according to my needs. So which is very important. Being a mother, being a homemaker as well, being a full-time and professional, being a maybe into different passions that I follow, Toastmasters and other things, it gives me that flexibility that I can keep going at the same time learning as well. Because for me, learning is one of the most important aspect of it. Being in it.
As you mentioned, opportunity to explore. So explore within the organization or outside also.
Explore within the organization, because normally the business runs the same. Even if I'm going outside, I'm doing the same thing in other organizations. But it gave me those opportunities at a very young age as well. It gave me certain leadership opportunities as well when I was young. It gave me opportunities to explore in technical sides of it. It gave me opportunities on the leadership side of it. So it gave me opportunities when I needed it or when I wanted it. So being in that organization helped me do that, all of that. So that basically followed with a comfort zone as well, because now people know me. So when I approach someone, they know that okay, Neelima is someone who has been working with this company, who has proved her credentials. Now if I'm going to someone asking for help or asking for an opportunity, they will not deny it. So I have proved it. That's why I'm getting those opportunities as well. So it works both ways, from the person as well, from the organization as well. So it has worked both ways for me as well as the organization.
One thing I would want to add here is we both use the word comfort zone, but the way comfort zone is seen in staying in companies is different from the comfort zone that we are mentioning.
Right.
Usually, the comfort zone is that you do not have to grow, you can continue with what you're doing for years. But here, the comfort zone was that we could do much more things than just being in our job or being in the team we are contributing to. The
Like-
organization allows us to have that comfort of our work and still explore things within the organization. They have their own programs, they have their own platforms to give, and there is so much learning within the company to explore so much that you're not restricted to your team, and that is the comfort that we're talking about, and not the comfort of just doing what our titles need us to do. Like, I'm a software developer, but still in the organization, if there is some kind of activity, we can do something that a software developer is not expected to do.
Would you like to share some example?
Would you want to share some example?
For example, we had our Tech Fest, annual Tech Fest, a couple of weeks back, and we both presented leadership sessions over there. So that is not something that we should be doing, a soft skills session over there. So these are the opportunities we are getting beyond our job as well.
So as you mentioned, you are already into leadership position in your company, but you are working as a software
Software
developer.
developer.
And how did you get the opportunity, or why did you take this opportunity to present your leadership training or something at your fest?
Because leadership is something that comes with every role. If I am a software developer, it is not just that I can write my code and that is where the job ends. I have to work with developers who are fresh, junior compared to me, who are senior compared to me. I have to talk with the client to understand their requirements, sometimes give them the feedback. I'm more of a software consultant and not just a developer.
Okay.
When you are a consultant, you cannot just focus on the skill of writing the code or delivering the product. You have to have all the skills that a leader needs. And leadership begins with yourself. That is where self-leadership comes in. You have to learn to manage your time. You have to learn to manage your peers. You have to learn to manage your subordinates. You have to learn to deliver in a certain manner, present in a certain manner, and that is when leadership qualities are needed beyond just the technical skills that you require.
Okay. So talking about this leadership opportunities, you both are involved in leadership position in your organization and also in Toastmasters. What do you think? Toastmasters taught you gave you leadership opportunities or taught those skills more, or your organization?
For me, it was my organization first because I was in a leadership position when I started with Toastmasters already.
Sorry to interrupt. Before that, I would like to know how long have you been a leader in your organization, both of you?
So I started with my leadership journey almost 13-14 years back.
Okay.
And at the same time, almost 12 years back, Toastmasters came to my organization.
Hmm.
Already was in a leadership position, so I just thought, let me try it out because communication was the key at that point in time. Everyone was talking about communication, so I just went ahead and joined Toastmasters. There were other things because of which I wanted to be a part of Toastmasters, but yes, leadership and communication was one of the most important aspect of it. So I started with Toastmasters as well. So the opportunity came from the organization. With that, Toastmasters was an add-on. I remained with Toastmasters for a couple of years. Then I took a break from Toastmasters and came back in 2020. I came back to Toastmasters. But till then, my leadership journey in my organization was immense because it has already been my 6-7 years into being a leader, into being a project manager. Then also I had done my PMP, project manager professional certification as well. So that also added on to my credentials. And then when I started with my Toastmasters again, that's when I actively took part in Toastmasters leadership. That's when I became an EC member, then I became a district officer, and gradually I grew in Toastmasters as well. But the original learning came from my organization itself because there also I got a lot of opportunities to interact with a lot of people. I'll say I am a people manager, hardcore people manager at heart. So I love working with people, a lot of them from different aspects, from maybe different experience level. So that helped me grow in Toastmasters.
Okay.
For me, it's rather opposite. I began with learning leadership or practicing leadership at Toastmasters, and that translated to my work. Although Toastmasters came from the corporate, I am a part of the corporate Toastmasters club. But when I joined Toastmasters 5 years ago, I was very young in my team in terms of the experience. But when my skills started to improve through Toastmasters, my growth in my team varied from the other people. Right now, I am leading my team with 3 other developers. 2 of them have experience higher than me, but still the client chose to have me as the team lead instead of them because of the skills I learned or practiced through Toastmasters. So the journey for me is completely opposite. I first practiced the skills here. I got into the EC, I got into the district officer's role. They started to translate into my job. I have been appreciated by my client on the quality of work, on the quality of delivery in terms of presentation, not just the code. And then they felt I understand their business better than other people in my team, and that is why they thought I could lead the team better than somebody who is more experienced in terms of software development than me. So the leadership came in that way.
Okay. So for you, it was your organization where you started your leadership journey. Then came Toastmasters, and then Toastmasters helped you in leadership in your organization.
Sure.
As Sanjana
Obviously,
mentioned.
yes. Obviously, Toastmasters is some place where you can practice what you have learned so far. One thing is that what restricts in an organization is that you do not get the platform to practice. You do not get a platform to make mistakes. That's what whenever I speak about Toastmasters, I always speak about this, that we need a platform to practice, to make mistakes, because the mistakes are our biggest learnings, right? So Toastmasters give us that platform that you are there, you can make mistakes, you can grow from those mistakes, and then actually implement those learnings in your organization. You can make mistakes with people, you can make mistakes with while implementing certain things, processes, you can make mistakes, different things.
Of course, giving the feedback and
Giving the feedback, these are the processes that we are following, but then you can implement that in your own organization as well, in your own work. So that's how it helps you hone your skills.
And this is the same thing that you mentioned,
Yes.
that how Toastmasters helped you in your leadership journey.
Now, if somebody asks me what Toastmasters is, I call it's my playground. Anything I want to implement anywhere, first try that skill in Toastmasters. In some context, you'll find some context to try everything. You want to try giving feedback, you want to try organizing something, you want to try your, like for me, I did VPPR role for 2 years. That brought me back to colors, to sketching, to all the art part that I was leaving as a software developer. So that brought in those skills. So you can practice any kind of skills in Toastmasters and translate it to real life.
Okay. So as you already mentioned, you work in the same organization and also part of Toastmasters for a long time now. I'm sure Toastmasters or your organization has played a good role in bringing your friendship, right?
Yes.
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters. So as you mentioned that you have been part of Toastmasters for the last 5 years and you have been part of Toastmasters for the last 12 years. When did you meet each other? Same
5 years
Toastmasters
ago,
meeting?
because I joined Toastmasters when she came back to Toastmasters.
Hmm.
And we started with online meetings, although in the beginning, of course, we were only meeting during the meeting, so it wasn't that much. But when we started into the EC roles, then the conversations increased. And then when she had to begin with the district officer role, then she approached me for one of her district officer roles. And then when we started meeting offline for meetings, that is from where the bond grew.
Prior to Toastmasters, you have never met.
Our organization is big enough to not meet people at all. And after COVID, of course, then it's this your team.
Okay. So apart after Toastmasters, what brought you both together? That you are working almost in the same fields now in the leadership or coaching industry. I've seen you. What brought you both together?
So I'll say it was like everyone has their own weaknesses, everyone has their own strengths. So for me, whenever I have worked with Sanjana, I believe that there were certain things which were missing in me that she has fulfilled or filled me with. There are inputs that I get from her which make me feel very satisfied. There is feedback that I get from her which make me feel that okay, now this is how I can improve. It's always about a learning journey and we learn together. So that has helped us grow this bond forward. So when I even approached her that let's work together, let's do things together, the only thing behind the scenes in my mind was that she is someone with whom I can resonate. Someone, if I talk to her, she'll not be taking me, because there is always a platform where you can agree to disagree. And with her, it's okay if she disagrees with me, it's okay if I disagree with her. And there is that bond that we disagree with each other, but we can also talk about it. So that's the most important thing in any relationship, be it friendship, be it partnership, be it working together. So if you are okay to agree to disagree, then you can work together. So that helped us a lot. And that's why I said that there are certain things which are maybe because everyone cannot be perfect in everything. So you need someone to fill that gap. So she fills that gap.
Is it the same thing for you too? That she is able to fill some gap that you were missing, the weakness, or you think there is something else that Neelima brings in?
This is definitely one part of it, that what she brings onto the table when we're working together is what I am missing, or if she feels that what I am bringing to the table is what she could be missing or she would want. Two is the openness to feedback that we have for each other. We both understand when somebody brings an idea, we discuss it openly, like this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is how we can do it together. Like the first time we talked about working together, I stepped in with this is the idea that I would want to add to, and if this works, then we can move forward together. So that openness to ideas. Then even before we started working together, I had this admiration of the way she works in terms of managing her time. She does a lot of things. And how she's able to manage that within 24 hours is something I have started to learn time management, seeing that if she can do so much after having so many responsibilities, I have much lesser responsibilities, and still if I'm not able to do that, I can see that and learn. So that is where my connection or looking up to her started, and then that has only increased since we have started to work together.
As you mentioned, time management, this is something I also see in her, look up to, that how she is able to manage all these things and also available anytime you call her.
Yes.
For anything.
That is
Apart
the
from-
biggest thing I look up to,
Yeah.
that how can somebody be so available and still doing everything so nicely?
The responsibility she is having right now, in fact, managing multiple different things and then to available for every moment, this is commendable. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
then something I think our cause also for working matches somewhere. things you wanted to work for, things I wanted to work for, they complement each other. They are very similar. That is why also we like working in the same direction together.
So apart from these Toastmasters, your professional lives, and your bonding between both of you, how does this Thriving Aspirers come? First of all, what is Thriving Aspirers from both of you?
So the idea of Thriving Aspirers came in when I started working on my life coaching certification. So I started with my life coaching certification last year. I completed the certification. I wanted to do something. I wanted to work beyond my job, to give back in certain way. So I did my life coaching certification. I did that for my own self to understand what it is all about. But then when I completed it, I wanted to work with one woman, second freshers or kids. That was one of the main motive or niche I actually took up for myself. I wanted to work on women empowerment because there are so many issues that we as a woman face till date. Even if we are so educated, every one of us is facing their own challenges. So that's where I came up with this idea. Let's do something about it. So the idea of Thriving Aspirers came in, where I thought that okay, thriving is like everyone aspires to thrive. So I wanted to help everyone thrive in their life. I wanted to work with their aspirations and help them thrive in their
Not only women, but everyone.
Everyone. But my focus initially when I started, I thought that I will work with my niche will always be working with mainly younger generation, which we call Gen Z right now, and women in particular, because there are so many issues. I'll not say that the other people do not have issues. There are issues, but these are certain things which I want to work on. I'm very passionate to work on. At the same time, I thought that I started working on it. I did a couple of workshops with people. Then I realized that I'll not be able to do it alone. I was very clear in my mind after doing a couple of workshops. That's when I approached Sanjana. That Sanjana, if this resonates with you, I tried working with other people as well. I'll not say that Sanjana was my first choice because I started working with her a bit late. So I just reached out to her, asking her that, see, this is my idea, this is my plan, this is how I want to work. Does this resonate with you? And she gave it a thought. She brought in her ideas that this is her vibe. I had my vibes, she had her vibes. She came with her ideas. We sat down together, we discussed those ideas. How do we can incorporate those together to work on a bigger picture? We created a bigger picture. That's when we started actually working on this Thriving Aspirers, these workshops that we are conducting on self-leadership or coaching others. That's where this idea came from.
Okay. And what was your reason, apart from saying that I can't say no to her?
No, that was never that I cannot say no to her. The first time she came to me with the idea that if you would be interested to work with me, I told her I'll take time to think and then only I'll say a yes or a no. I have never been, after at least Toastmasters, I've never been somebody who says yes immediately. It's important to also say no.
Toastmasters helped you say no to.
Yes. But with her, one was even I am somebody who's interested in uplifting women. As women, we need an extra push right now. The society needs that. So that is one idea that resonated with me from her. Two, I was also wanting to expand into more things. That is where I also brought in the idea of image building. That was one part I added to what her ideas was, and that is also something that then resonated with her. And when we brought in that idea, and when she says that we are working beyond women right now, because uplifting women also needs uplifting other people around them, because only then the society can be uplifted as a whole. So that is where we are expanding beyond women as well. The other reason I work with her, what is my why as well, is I know I cannot work alone. I need somebody for that constant accountability of things. Sometimes you have a lot of ideas, you are unable to manage your time, you are wanting to do many more things, then you need that streamlining, then another person's mind adds to it. So that was also one reason that I had been thinking of adding more things to what I do right now, but that was not coming into picture. When I saw that somebody else is interested to work with me, then I understood that sense of accountability can come in if I work with somebody. So that is also one reason I said yes to this.
Okay. So as you mentioned, you are a life coach, certified life coach, and with Thriving Aspirers, you were interested in implementing this life coaching, what you have learned from this, into Thriving Aspirers and empowering other members. And you mentioned about image consulting. How does these collide with each other?
They absolutely work hand in hand. Um,
Life coaching and image consulting. How?
when you want to grow as a person, you need to grow in both terms, one within yourself and one how the world sees you.
Hmm.
So life coaching helps you building yourself from the inside, and image consultants works with growing you how the world sees you. So both of
Okay.
these things together can make you where you want to reach. So if your internal is not strong, that cannot be done without life coaching. The world cannot see you the way you want to see. And if you are yourself strong enough, you see yourself the way you want to see, but you're not able to translate that
Hmm.
in how the world sees you, then also the job is not fulfilled. There is where you need image consultants or image coaching. So both the ideas together take you to where you want to reach, which is the self-leadership idea that we are working on.
Self-leadership idea. Okay. So you want to say that life coaching is it help you in inner being, improving your inner self, and with image consulting you help individuals in
How they
Yeah.
translate
how they
themselves to the
translate.
world.
Okay. So how do you see this thriving aspirers with your job? How long can you take it according to this?
So, thriving aspirers is just a passion that we are following right now. We have not thought through to that lens right now. We are doing pro bono workshops, helping people wherever possible. These workshops are based on self leadership as well as on image consulting.
Hmm.
That how do you have to present yourself? Actually, it's working inside out. How you are inside, you have to present yourself to the outside world in the similar way. So that's what thriving aspirers is all about. Right now we are focused on helping the people we reach out to. Going forward, maybe if there are opportunities, then we can think about taking this on a larger platform. But right as of now, it's just focused on, as we said, women empowerment, helping the kids, schools basically, or maybe freshers to grow into their careers, into their personal and professional life. So that's what the whole idea of our Thriving Aspirers is.
Do you agree with the same thing?
Yes and no. For the picture of thriving aspirers, right now we are pro bono. Right now we are working, giving back to the society. There is a lot that we have learned from the society, and we are trying to give it back in the form of workshops, in the form of consultancy, in the form of coaching. But life is unpredictable. We have been working with organizations. She has been working there for 19 years. I've been working here for 9 years. But you do not know what life has in the longer run.
Hmm.
So why not be prepared for more things? When you have time, when you have the ability, learn as much as you can and leave it to life where it takes you. Let's see if we want to continue with the company for another 10 years or maybe another 10 months. Who knows?
So do you think thriving aspirers can be your backup plan?
Maybe. Not a yes, not a no. Right now, it's too early to even frame in the direction Thriving Aspirers is right now going into. We are trying to expand step by step. And personally, I feel in looking at life step by step rather than a very bigger long term picture, because the long term picture is impacted by a lot of things.
Hmm.
It's not just you, it's you and the world around you, your family, your work. Things like COVID, everything changed when COVID came.
Yeah.
So I personally do not believe in a very long term picture. So right now I see Thriving Aspirers for the next 1 year, 5 years, those kind of steps, where we right now see it as pro bono workshops, and if it is meant to grow into another direction as a backup plan, time will tell.
And for you?
As she said, time will tell. I am the kind of person who has always gone with the flow. But something has come to me. Though I may have planned certain things, they have not worked. Life has just taken a turn and I have gone in another direction. That's almost always that has happened with me in my life. So I have dealt with life accordingly. Similarly, over here as well, I will deal with it when it comes my way. Not thinking a lot into it because we have a job as well, full-time job. We are trying to set up Thriving Aspirers, giving back to the community as much as we can, doing these pro bono workshop, actually taking back from the society as well while we are learning doing these things, because these are also bringing us some learnings. We are just imbibing those learnings, implementing those forward. Let's see what it entails in future.
So I've been an entrepreneur for the last 15 years and tried multiple other things, doing things differently, doing multiple things at the same time, including the biking, traveling, or different ventures too. But I've always struggled with this, managing two different passions at the same time. But for you, it's almost 9 years in your job, 19 years in your job, and then thriving as Paras and a Toastmasters and everything. How do you see that following your passion with your job is possible?
It's very much possible. As I said, there is nothing called balance in life.
बट समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस ना कि पैशन बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है, फिर मन करता है कि वो सारी चीज़ें छोड़ करके उसी की तरफ जाओ.
For me, it's like some days I'm giving more time to Toastmasters, Thriving Aspirers. Some days I'm giving more time to my job. Those days these take a backseat. Some days when work is like, even work takes a backseat. Some days you have to work for 8 hours, but you do not really need to work for 8 hours. You can manage that around that. Some days Toastmasters or Thriving Aspirers would not need an hour or two extra. Or maybe on a daily basis, for all these things I spend 2 to 3 hours. Some days I might even give 7 hours because I am able to balance that with my work. Because even sometimes my mood, if I'm able to complete my work on the weekend, then maybe on Monday morning, if I'm starting a little late, rather concentrating on something for Toastmasters, something for Thriving Aspirers, it can still work because I completed my work on the weekend. So it's about managing. Because I wanted to give that time on Monday, I was passionate about giving that time on Monday, that I worked on the weekend as well. That passion drew me to do something that I would usually not do. I would rather say a no to work on the weekend if in general required by work. I am very strict with my boundaries there. That if it's 9 to 6, it's 9 to 6, otherwise it happens the next day. But on a personal level, if I want to work for my passion on the weekday, I might work on the weekend for myself. That is coming from the inner choice. At the end, because I want the goal to be achieved in the way I want to achieve. So it's following your inner voice and balancing everything. My work is also at stake. I cannot just say no to the client or the customer that this would not be done. I have to deliver that. And also accountability with Thriving Aspirers. If I have a workshop planned, then I have to prepare for it. People are coming for it, even if they're not paying. They're expecting something out of it. I cannot fail them. If I do not deliver it well, the next workshop, people will not be interested. So maintaining that balance fuels the passion, and the passion fuels balancing tools.
So you have dedicated hours for your job, dedicated hours for your passion.
Yes.
This is the case.
Yes, because
Sometimes when you want to give more time to passion, you take out time from your work life, give it to the passion, and sometimes when your work life wants more time, then you
Yes.
take out from that passion life.
Yes, absolutely. If there is something that in work requires immediate attention, I've also worked for continuous 24 hours. I've also spent overnight in office when I can also say a no, but because it was required. And that is what allows me to then say a yes to my passion and giving lesser time to my work, because that is what it needs at that time.
And do you also resonate the same?
I'll add one thing over here, which is what my organization has actually taught me. Working with this organization for 19 years, when I started, at that time, software industry was like you work for 16 hours, 18 hours, for so longer hours during those days. So it was, I think it was the way we were trained to work. We were trained to work for longer hours during those times. Gradually, the working hours reduced at the organization as well. Different processes coming in. The organization grew in size. But since you are trained, your mind is trained to work in that manner, that you are ready to give those extra hours, right? Now, beyond work, beyond your job, there are other things that you want to do. We never think about it. We never think about it that, okay, we can do art and craft, we can do so and so things, we can work on our leadership and coaching things, we can do Toastmasters so much. We do not think about it. And that's where that training, that's the training that we have grown from, came into being. So that's what has helped me so far. That apart from job, I am already trained so much to work for maybe 16 hours, 17 hours a day. But yes, my organization has given me the flexibility that if I'm working 16 hours a day, I can structure my 8 hours of work as per me. I know that I have calls during these hours. I will keep those hours separate. I can work in the morning hours. Other than that, I can devote time for Toastmasters during the afternoon hours or in the night. So I can structure my day as per my availability or my feasibility. So that flexibility my organization has given me. So it has taught me two things. One, to work, to do the hard work and the smart work at the same time. and which is very important. Not just hard work. I'll not say it was just hard work. It has also shown me how to do smart work as well. So one is smart work, and the other thing is it has given me the flexibility to work on different things that I want to work on. So that is the two things that actually my organization has given me. Apart from that, what I believe is that it's a continuous choices that you are making. Every day you wake up in the morning, you make a choice. What I have to do. The minute you get out of bed, because you can sleep for 5 more minutes, or you can get up the moment the alarm comes off. So it is a continuous choice that you are making every second, every moment of the day. So the choice is yours. You want to devote that time to your passion. You want to just go ahead, watch OTT in your free time. You can do ample things in those hours.
Or you can follow your passion.
Or you can follow your passion.
Exactly. I think that time balancing comes from within when you have a goal to reach. This is something also I've learned, one with working with Thriving Inspires, one working with Neelima, because this is the biggest learning that I want to imbibe from her, and I keep trying. And this is also something I learned over the years. Until last year, I was trying to lose weight. In 6 months I lost more than 20 kilos, and that was only because I was dedicating time to that. Before that, I was never dedicating time to my health. It was a part of my daily routine. If it happened, good. If it did not happen, that's all right. But now I know that I have to give 1.5 hours every day, no matter what. Be it 12 at night, be it 6 in the morning, I have to find out that 1.5 hours. And similarly, it could be for any passion.
1.5 hours for?
For my health. It could be any form of exercise. If I have to go to the gym, if I have to go for a walk, anything. But 1.5 hours of each day has to go there, no matter what. So it is about me finding that 1.5 hours anytime during the day, but it has to come. Similarly, it could be for any of the passion that you want to follow. If you want to work on, say, a workshop's content, then if it has to be done, then it is up to you when you find that hour during the day, but it has to come, only then it will happen. Otherwise, you are in the same place, and then you will only be thinking of achieving your passion, but you will not achieve anything.
You have to start somewhere. The point is, you have to start somewhere. It need not be perfect start, but
at least one start.
It is a start. You can start by giving your 5 minutes, half an hour. Start somewhere, and gradually it will increase, improve, learnings will come, you will introspect, and then grow into that zone.
What if that 1.5 hours you are unable to dedicate for health? Someday there might be times which you are busy with other passions or your job or anything or other commitments. What if you were not able to give this 1.5 hours?
One, forgive yourself for that.
Okay.
Do not take it to that. If it wasn't done today, then the battle is lost. But come back to that routine the next day.
What happens is when you break that routine, sometimes you are not able to get back to that routine or unable to go back to the same pattern. Then how do you come back to that pattern?
To do that, you have to actively in your head stop and tell yourself that this is important, and understanding what you're losing with that. So even after forgiving yourself for not doing that for maybe 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, taking that choice actively that okay, today I start. It's not about, this is something we do with our gym memberships. It will start next week, next month, next year. But why not today? Why not on a Wednesday afternoon? Can you go back to the gym? You can still start on Wednesday. The trainer will not tell you that only come on a Monday, only come on the beginning of the month. When you want to do something, when you want to restart something, restart in that moment. That is the only way, because plan will remain a plan for tomorrow, for the next week, for the next month, but it can only execute right now. So start today. Start right now.
Start right now.
Yes.
And that's why I said there are continuous choices we are making every moment of the day. If you have to start something, start now. Why wait for the next perfect moment? You have to start. You have to make that choice that I have to get out of the bed, go to the gym.
As you already mentioned, one time you mentioned about the comfort zone, and now you are saying this about choices. Anytime we can choose comfort zone over hard work. How to get out of that zone?
That is what I was specifically saying about the comfort zone. The comfort zone that we are mentioning is not the comfort zone of not making the choice and remaining in that inertia of what we're doing, but the comfort of trying different things.
So it's the comfort zone of being uncomfortable, actually.
Comfort zone of being uncomfortable.
It's not the comfort zone that we are comfortable over here, we are getting our salaries at the end of the month. It's not that comfort zone. It's the comfort zone that we can try different things over here. It's the comfort zone that we will not be judged. Even if we make mistakes, we will be able to thrive in here. We will be able to learn over here. It's that comfort zone that I believe is there when we are working together. So it's not the comfort zone that we can just procrastinate or be lazy. We do that as well. It's not that we do not procrastinate or not being lazy. Sometimes we just pull each other out of that thing. But it's about being in that comfort zone and being lazy as well, but pulling ourselves out of it.
So it is okay to procrastinate. It is okay to be lazy sometimes. It is okay to watch OTT.
Yes, it is.
But you have to get back to your routine,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
good for you.
It is the recharge you need sometimes. To give in 100% for your passion, you need to also recharge.
Yes.
You cannot be without energy and still give time. You have to recharge yourself, and that could be from a break. You always need a break. Only then you can come back to something with a clear head. This happens with work. Sometimes I'm working on solving a bug. I'll spend an entire week. I'll not get a solution. I'll just close it, and on a Sunday morning, I'll get up with a solution and implement that in 5 minutes. The entire week, 8 hours a day, I could not do that. But once a week, which went well on Saturday night, Sunday morning, it was done in 5 minutes. So your brain always needs that break. It always needs that recharge.
You have to plug out some things. You have to plug yourself out to get back into that zone. So just get out of this. So self-leadership is nothing but actually acknowledging that you are out of that zone. Now you have to get back into that zone. You have to pause at times. You have to reflect. Otherwise, you are not learning.
So you want to mention, you want to say that break is required.
Break
Yes.
is very much required.
Is it a certain pattern that if after every 2 hours, 5 hours, we should take the break, or whenever we want to take?
For that, you need to come to a workshop. We talk about it in a focus flow finish workshop.
Yes. So there are
Someday
cycles.
I'll definitely join it.
Yes, there are cycles in our day that you have to, when you are doing your best work, there are cycles or times when you are doing just the admin work. You have to identify that. There are times when you need to take a break. But it all depends on the person you are. Maybe Sanjana works in a different way, I work in a different way. I will have my own times to take a break, she'll have her own times to take a break. She'll have her own ways to take a break, I'll have my own ways to take a break. But it all depends on the person you are. And you have to acknowledge that, first of all. You cannot say that this thing works for Sanjana, so this should also work for Neelima, or this should also work for Mohit. Because we all live a different life. We all are different people. Acknowledging that
The requirement of break is different for everyone.
requirement of break as well as the way we take a break. Maybe something I love to do, she will not love to do. So the way we take a break is also different. Maybe I just love to sit idle and do nothing. She loves to read a book at that time. So the way we take a break is also different. What recharges us, we don't know. And every person will have their own needs.
I also discovered a smarter way to take breaks if you want to manage your time is to balance your passions or hobbies accordingly. So now if walking is something that can also be a break for me and also can be my health plan. So if in the 1 hour of what I am counting as my health routine is also helping me having a break from work. So I can use that 1 hour as a break as well as something I'm working on. Similarly, if I'm traveling, since I'm also writing these days, when I'm traveling, it is also working as ideas for my writing. So I'm on a break and still it's fueling the other needs. Like I would have spent time thinking of what I want to write about, or rather when I'm on a break, my mind is more creative, then it's also fueling or making ideas for the writing part. So that ways you can also think of breaks into creative thinking blocks. And that ways you'll not feel that you're on a break and also you're contributing to what you want to do. So it's working towards your passion. And similarly with art and craft, if somebody is using art and craft as a proper tangible professional passion, then it is your break as well. It is relaxing your mind, but at the same time also generating what could be used in terms of tangible profession.
So you use breaks for your passions also.
Yes, smart ways of
You can
using
do
breaks
that.
could be to use that.
Okay. One question related to choices. As you mentioned, we have to take a choice every day, every moment. we have a choice to do one or the other thing. My question, if money is not the point, what choice would you be taking? Job or thriving aspirers?
See, it's a very difficult question for me actually, because the background I come from is where stability was always something which was valued. Coming from a very lower middle class family, we always thought about having a stable job, getting a stable income, and just working in that manner, having a stable family and all that. So that's how we have grown up. Now, at this stage in my life, when I am also working on my passion, how working on my passion came into picture? Because now I feel that I am stable enough that I can take on both the things, my passion as well as my job, along with my family.
This stability is for money or
No.
it is a mindset?
Both. It's obviously both, because coming from a family which was not doing well financially as well, so the mindsets come from that, the family we have grown into. So now the stability is there. I have a stable family. I'm financially stable. So it comes. So that's how I started working on my passion as well. But at the same time, I'll not say that the job I am doing is not related to my passion, because that fueled my passion, for me at least. As I said at the start of it, that I'm a people manager. Why I was a developer to start with. I started as a developer for 6-7 years. I was a developer, and then when I had to make that choice, whether I have to go into people management or managing things, or I have to grow into that development role, I deliberately took this choice, made this choice of going into people management. So that was also a choice that I took at that point in time. So even in my job, I am working what I am passionate about, working with people, managing things, leadership aspects. So it's not that within the job I'm not doing what I am passionate about.
So money is not the only motivating factor in your job. It is also
So-
people management.
Yes, it's also my passion over there. But yes, I'm adding more aspects to it. I'm adding other aspects like working outside of that job, outside of working with those 20, 30 or 40 people. I'm working with on a larger playground with Toastmasters, with thriving aspirers. Why not? If I can do it now, why not?
Yeah.
Earlier I was not able to do it because of many constraints, but now I can do it. So that's how things are right now. So it's not just about money. It's also about following your passion, what you
Passions
want,
in your job too.
and in your job.
And what about you? How do you see this?
Honestly, money was never a motivation for me. From the beginning itself, I was earning decently from my job and I was happy about it. My family is structured in such a manner that I still am partially dependent on my family, and that is how our family is structured. Nobody is independently spending their money. The finances work in that joint manner. So even still, right now also, I'm not 100% spending what I earn. That is why money was never a motivation for me. What always motivated me was learning, and that is also why I came into working. In my family, I and my sister are the first working women. Before that, no other woman in my family was working, and that is because we wanted to still continue with higher education. We wanted to learn further, and you can get educated, but that education becomes tangible when you start working, and that is the reason, or a sense of independence from that way of family, because our family is very close knit and everybody is very dependent on the males of the family, and I and my sister did not want that. That was actually the motivation of getting into jobs. But still you have to have harmony in your family. That is why we are still partially dependent on the family business. But when I started getting that independence is when money started playing a role in my life. Now I did not have to go back to my family and discuss what I want or ask my father about something. I could add to what he was already providing. So he still feels like he has to fulfill my basic needs, but I can go beyond those basic needs because now I have my own pool of earnings. Initially, learning was the motivation, and that is also the reason I was growing into things. When I am into my job, I'm very satisfied, but the sense of learning goes away. That is why I was trying to learn to paint. When that started to grow into comfort, then I started to learn playing the guitar. That grew into comfort, came in Toastmasters. And since that is also one reason I kept adding more things. When adding money to it became more stable, then the motivation of money came in that okay, then you can, if he can get you a gold ring by yourself, you can get a gold bracelet. So that is the way I see my earning or my money being a part of my life. But the main motivation of growing is rather learning.
But what if that money is not there?
Hmm.
In fact, you are earning the same amount of money that you are earning from your job, but from a different source that is passive in nature. Still, you will be doing the job
Yes.
or thriving as parents.
I don't see them as two very different things. For me, working is more important, and working that is keeping me learning and happy.
So, learning your skills or upgrading your
Upgrading
skills,
my skills.
is more important than anything else.
Discovering something new every other day, being excited of what you're working on that day is what is more important than any other factor. Specifically with things like Thriving Aspirers, with things like Toastmasters, these are so dynamic that you are learning something new every day. When I was learning to paint or learning to play the guitar, why also that became a little monotonous, or maybe why did I leave that or did not continue with that? Because the learning part had reduced and now the self-doing part had increased. The teacher can teach you for 20 days, but for the entire remaining year, you'll have to do something by yourself. But with Thriving Aspirers, you'll meet 10 different people throughout the month. You learn something new every day. So that journey does not end with things like this. And that is why they continue longer than learning some passion from some, in terms of teaching.
Why is it so that when the learnings or teachings end, people usually unfollow their passions?
So we have to understand that learnings do not stop.
For example, as you mentioned that a guitar teacher was there for 20 days. After that, it was you who have to do the practice only.
Yes.
After which, almost the learning curve deteriorated.
There are two parts.
And most of the cases, what I have seen is people usually forget about those passions or find something new. The one with the learning mindset always finds something new, and one with the fixed mindset leave that passion and does not see anything else.
There are two parts. One is whenever you're learning, and this is where even me and most of the people leave something learning is you have a set of basic principles, you can learn that, but for a very long time you have to practice that monotonously. Like it has to become mechanical, only then it becomes like a muscle memory and it becomes into something. Like if you're learning to play the guitar, the teacher can teach you for a year, but you'll have to practice that for 5 years, only then you'll be able to reach a level where you can compose on by your own self. Those 5 years do not fuel me. So after that 1 year, I am not interested to spend those 5 years to reach that level where I can compose music. But I'll rather be more happy to learn something somewhere else. So that kind of excitement that you get in that 1 year is missing in those 5 years. So rather you switch to something that is giving you that same excitement.
So you keep on jumping to other skills,
Yes.
upgrading your skills, but not to master one skill at a level
Yes.
that can take you to different levels. Do you see the same thing?
So see, for everything we have a goal. Okay. So you have to keep that threshold in mind that this is where I want to reach. So for example, as she said that you learn guitar for 1 year. Now you play well-known Bollywood songs or Hollywood songs. You can play on the guitar. You know how to play those after 1 year. Now to compose yourself, is that your goal? First of all, understanding that thing. If that is not your goal, then after 1 year, you will be bored of what you are doing. You will not be able to practice for next 5 years. Right? So you have to first understand what your goal from that passion is. She still plays guitar and she plays it very well. It's not that she has left it out, but she has kept a goal and she has achieved that goal. Now she has moved to something else. So that's how it works. One thing is that if you want to be exceptional in any field, you have to go into that boring zone. You have to do it even if it becomes boring. Studies are the most boring thing to do. है ना, वो कहते हैं ना पढ़ते वक्त तो नींद आएगी मतलब वो हमारे पेरेंट्स भी हमें बोलते थे, हम अपने बच्चों को बोलते हैं कि यार जैसे ही पढ़ने बैठते वैसे ही नींद आ जाती है, ये क्या बात है? वो इसीलिए होता है क्योंकि इट बिकम्स बोरिंग, इट्स मोनोटोनस, बट दैट्स वेयर द एक्चुअल लर्निंग इज. It becomes when it becomes monotonous and you are still doing it over and over again, it becomes your muscle memory and then you are at that exceptional level.
So you want to mention, you mentioned that after 1 year, when the teacher left, you still have to practice it for 5 years, and you should be making that goal, because then only you will learn something valuable.
You should not be making that goal. That is, if that is your goal, then you have to spend. Then that has to be your journey. You cannot skip that journey.
How do you see this thing? 1 year learning one skill and almost mastering it, not 100%, but at least 60-70% doing that, and jumping onto another skill, whereas not unlearning that skill, that is part of your lifestyle now, but not growing in that skill. Second, moving on to another different skill, then again giving 1 year to that, and then leaving it for another skill, again for learning for 60-70%, going that. This is one option. Option number two is giving 5 years extra after giving you 1 year of teaching, learning from the teacher, then 5 years in that skill, learning by self doing. Which option is better?
Again, we come to choices here. So it depends on you, what goal you have set for yourself. There are people who are doing PhDs. Do you think PhDs are easy? They take 5 years, 6 years doing research over and over again, publishing your papers, doing the same work over and over again. There are people who do that. And then there are people who just do their MScs in the same subject, switch to a job or to some profession they want to follow. So there is no right or wrong thing. There is no right and wrong. It depends on the person who is following that passion. It's the person who is setting that goal. For me, my goal will be different. For her, her goal will be different. She wants to learn 60-70% and then just move on to something else. For me, if it's like learning 100% of that goal, then I should be ready to devote that 5 years to that goal. So it's my choice. That okay, 60% I have learned from my teacher. Now I have to practice that for 5 years to get to that exceptional level, because that's my goal, not anyone else. I have to put in that hard work. I have to put in that time, because what in life, what we have, we always talk about money a lot. We say that we have to put in money. For learning from the teacher, we have to put in money. But for learning ourselves, we have to put in time, energy into it. Because it's very difficult to do it on your own. Teacher to aayega, डांटेगा, कुछ करेगा, you will do it. But when you have to do it on your own, you have to put in a lot of energy. You have to put in a lot of time. And that's where the choices are. That's where your goals play a very important role.
For this, choosing option number 2 you mentioned, but there are certain people who choose option number 1, following the passion for 1 year or so, then moving on to another passion or skill, and continuously jumping over to another skill. For this, society has given a quote, a beautiful quote: "Jack of all trades, master of none." How do you see this thing?
I'll add to this. So, this is one perspective that I learned from somebody. What that lady does is that she works on a career for 10 years completely, and then 10 years later she changes her career. And if she's in her 50s, if she started working 20s, it's her third career already. So what happens is, how I see this is, you have limited time on this earth. You have one life. You cannot take your physical learnings to the other life. Karma is of course a thing if you talk about rebirth, but you have one life to do everything. If you are trying to find a profession, or if you're learning from the perspective of profession, you can go into that learning of 5 years, or staying into that mechanical mode for 5 years and get into achieving a skill to perfection, or something that you can make into tangible profession. But why not learn other things, 60% of many different things, as a passion? So I can paint. I did not want to become a professional artist who has her own gallery or shows. So for me, that 70% of learning to paint is enough. Learning, being able to play a few songs on the guitar, sitting and strumming it for a nice time, that much is enough. But at the same time, with my job as a software developer, I am upgrading my skills for the last 8 years. So I've been sticking to that because that is something I was working professionally for. So you can also make choices in that manner, that you are following for self-learning, whatever satisfies you, you can learn that much, so that you can learn as many things as possible, as many satisfy you. Like, I'm interested in art, I'm interested in music, I'm interested in reading books. I cannot do that all the time. I'll have to limit my times to that. But for something that is professional, that can take a longer, that learning can be done for a longer time, so that you produce quality work.
So there can be things that can go for decades,
yes,
and there can be things that will go for even weeks or months.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You have to make your routine accordingly. You have to set up boundaries accordingly. You have to set up your goals accordingly. That 67% I'm good with drawing. I'll do the drawing work. This is what I'm satisfied with. I won't go beyond this. Okay. Now, if I want to be a leader, if I want to be a person who wants to work with people, and if I have to learn different perspective, I have to learn psychology or whatever, how people work, how clients work, I'll keep on upgrading myself in that. Maybe in drawing, I have learned an art form, I'll just stick to that art form because that's what fuels me. But in that direction, I'll do different, whatever it takes to make myself a better leader, I'll do that. In other directions, I'll just take a bit of my time, a bit of my energy and put it there just to keep myself also focused on what actually fuels me. Because as I said, to be exceptional, it gets boring at times. To get out of that boredom as well, you need something. So that is where different other aspects come into picture. That you can draw, you can learn music, you can read a book, you can watch movies. So all these things can be clubbed together. But there has to be something that makes you wake up, get out of your bed every morning. That helps you make that choice that now it's the time that, okay, get out of bed, do this, start doing your work at 9 a.m. So that has to be there.
तो लास्ट वीक प्रतीक गोयल हैं, आप लोग जानते हैं उनको, उनके साथ में जब पॉडकास्ट शूट कर रहे थे तो उन्होंने एक लाइन बोली, जैक ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड्स, मास्टर ऑफ नन, बट ऑफ्टन टाइम्स बेटर देन मास्टर ऑफ वन. आप कह रहे हो कि एक ही गोल अगर किसी ने बनाया है, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन चॉइसेस, आई नो, बट दे आर टू पीपल, वन हु हैज चोजन द गोल ऑफ being in the same organization for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, sometimes 45 years, give their lifetime to that organization. And sometimes they grow in that organization, they upgrade their skills, and sometimes they just follow the path daily. A routine work है उनको वहाँ पे जाना है. Mostly government offices and the companies that are working for the last 50-100 years, these function in almost the same direction कि वहाँ पे लोग रोज ऑफिस जाते हैं, अगर कुछ नया नहीं भी सीखने को मिल रहा फिर भी उनका ऑफिस जाना है और वो उसी रूटीन को फॉलो करते हैं. दूसरी तरफ वो लोग हैं जो किसी एक पैशन, किसी एक स्किल को अपग्रेड करने के लिए, पैशन को फॉलो करने के लिए 3 महीने, 6 महीने, 1 साल का टाइम देते हैं. उनको लगता है कि अब मेरा यहाँ तक हो गया जितना मुझे अचीव करना था, देन दे मूव ऑन टू डिफरेंट थिंग. ऐसा करते करते उनके पास में स्किल्स भी काफ़ी आ जाती हैं और वो बहुत सारी चीज़ों को एक्सपीरियंस कर लेते हैं. आप कहाँ तक इसको सच मानते हो कि जिसके पास में डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑफ स्किल्स हैं, मास्टरी किसी ने नहीं की, हो सकता है जिसने 45 साल एक कंपनी में दिया उसकी लीडरशिप स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी हैं, लेकिन जो दूसरा बंदा है उसने लीडरशिप स्किल्स के ऊपर 6 महीने, साल भर का टाइम दिया, देन ही वर्कड अपॉन पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, देन गिटार, देन आर्ट, देन पेंटिंग, देन मे बी कम्युनिकेशन, देन अनदर स्किल, हर 6 महीने, साल भर दिया. उसके पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज ज़्यादा आएंगी या फिर दूसरे वाले के पास में?
सो मोहित, यहाँ पे आई से इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन व्हाट योर अल्टीमेट गोल इज. जैसे आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहे हो 45 ईयर्स के लिए, ऑब्वियसली यू आर ग्रोइंग इन दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. 45 ईयर्स तक आप एक ही लेवल पे तो नहीं रहोगे. यू आर अपग्रेडिंग योर सेल्फ एवरी नाउ एंड देन. मे बी यू आर अपग्रेडिंग इन जस्ट वन डायरेक्शन, मे बी जस्ट वन स्किल यू आर अपग्रेडिंग इन टू दैट बिकॉज एवरी स्किल इवॉल्व्स. लीडरशिप हो गया, कम्युनिकेशन हो गया, level of communication evolves, level of leadership evolves. So you are evolving with each year, each day for those 45 years. But you have an ultimate goal in your mind that you have to grow in that organization. Now that other person who is just learning different skills, there is another thing that we are not thinking about here is the financials that are associated with it. We are combining a profession with a passion, right? Profession can be one thing which we can follow for a longer period of time, and then there comes passion, which can be like we follow for 1 year, master it to a certain level, then move on to the next skill. We can learn multiple skills like that, but to master something, we have to devote that time. Now it depends on you, that what you want to do, what you want to achieve in your life. You want to go ahead and just learn one skill, master that one skill, and by the side learn other skills, or you want to have different skills in your kitty. Do not master anything, have multiple opportunities available to you, but then the financials, the security that comes with following just one, mastering just one thing, and the financials, the security that comes with following different passions may be different. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि एक में ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटी और एक में कम है, मैं ये नहीं कह रही, मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि वो डिफरेंट होंगे हमेशा. There will be risks always in
Also,
that as well,
both
in,
the
that,
things.
in both the things. But it depends on what pros you choose, what cons you choose. Nothing is concrete.
Can it be situations that we don't even know the cons for in the future? Because cons are usually are the things that come in the future. Pros is something that we can see today, maybe in the next week, month, or a year. But cons are something that might come 5 years, 10 years down the line. For example, somebody worked in a company for 15 years, and then all of a sudden COVID happened. They left their job. There was no bread and butter, or sometimes the situation or lifestyle that we are living in, they don't even have enough saving that they can survive for the next 6 months or 1 year.
So the point is, we all have heard those rags to riches stories. ठीक है, जहाँ पे बहुत ही गरीब, बहुत ही मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है खोने के लिए और वो एकदम से अमीर हो गया. We have all heard those stories and they are very very common stories. Why do these stories exist? Because when we are in rags, we have nothing to lose. But when we move to riches, ठीक है, वहाँ पे हमारे पास लूज करने के लिए बहुत कुछ होता है. We can always weigh our risks. There is a financial stability. Maybe when we reach to the riches level, we have a family to support. काफ़ी लोग होते हैं जो स्टार्ट करते हैं आजकल के टाइम में. जब हम जेनजीज की बात करते हैं, जेनजीज आर मोर प्रोन टू बीइंग एन एंटरप्रेन्योर और स्टार्टिंग ऑन देयर ओन. तो वो स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं वही काम जो शायद से कोई अपने 40s में स्टार्ट कर रहा है, वो काम करना वो अपने 16s में स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, जो चीज़ें हम लोग अब जाके सीख रहे हैं वो चीज़ें उनको दे हैव मास्टर्ड दोज स्किल्स. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ पे आपको ये सोचना है कि it's not that we have to actually face those cons. It's actually about weighing those cons. कि क्या रिस्क हो सकते हैं? What is the worst possible scenario that can happen? Any decision you take, there are two best possible scenario. There is a worst possible scenario. Okay? Now you can write those down. Worst possible scenario, you can lose your job. You will not have bread and butter. But will you be able to survive in that case? What will happen to you? How will you survive? You can think about those in those terms. अगर आपकी कोई फैमिली नहीं है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल समवन इज जस्ट स्टार्टिंग देयर करियर एंड कहता है कि मुझे स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करना है, उस 20-22 साल का बच्चा है, वो कहता है मेरे को स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करना है, तो ही रिस्क बहुत कम है.
He has multiple options to take and
बहुत
risk
सारे
भी
हैं,
बहुत कम है.
रिस्क भी बहुत कम है लाइफ में.
But I'm talking about the people who have already dedicated their 5, 10 years, 15 years in a same organization.
तो उनके लिए रिस्क ज़्यादा है. ठीक है, अब वहाँ पे they have what the point is, what the problem is, we are associating ourselves with an organization. हम हमेशा इस टर्म में सोचते हैं कि we have to give to this organization. We do not spend time on our learning. ठीक है, अगर if you have learned the skills, then nothing can stop you. Maybe 1 year will be, 1 month will be tough, 2 months will be tough, 3 months may be tough. If you have learned the skills to the best of your knowledge, nothing can stop you. 3 महीने में कहीं और जॉब मिल जाएगी. Even COVID happened, there were people who left, who lost their jobs. बहुत problems हुई, लेकिन they got back because they spent on their own selves, their own learnings. If you are spending on your own learning, then nothing can stop you. हाँ, हम लोगों के साथ होता क्या कि हम इमोशनली अपने आप को कनेक्ट कर लेते हैं किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ, विच इज राइट एंड रॉन्ग एट द सेम टाइम. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि आप किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हैं तो आप ऑनेस्ट मत रहिए उसके साथ. Be as honest as possible, but at the same time work on yourself as well. Work on improving your skills as well. So that when you have to switch, it's not that कि आपको कहीं और नौकरी नहीं मिल रही है, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be like कि अगर आपको मौका मिले स्विच करने का, you are ready to switch to that level. वहाँ उस लेवल पे प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा आपको, उस लेवल पे अपने स्किल्स डेवलप करने पड़ेंगे. बी ऑनेस्ट, बट एट द सेम टाइम डोंट बी अ फूल कि भाई हम तो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, हम हमेशा इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में रहेंगे. बिकॉज कॉर्पोरेट्स आर एक्चुअली बिजनेस. We cannot say that they will not operate on profit and loss basis. They will operate from profit and loss basis. For them, we are resources. They may call us that you are part of our family and all that. stuff. But at the same time, we are resources for them. We are the people who are getting the work done that is coming to them. The moment the work stops coming to them, we are nothing. They have to do it. They can make us survive for one month, 2 months. They will keep us in the organization to see if some other work comes in. But at the end of the day, they also have to survive in the market. We have to understand their point of view as well. So they cannot go on like that. So invest in yourself as much as you can. Be honest to your organization, but invest in yourself. So that is what I believe. It's not something that you are being dishonest by investing in yourself. There are people I've seen who are with an organization for 15, 19, 20 years, but they keep on interviewing for other organizations as well. They don't switch, but they keep on interviewing just to hone their skills, just to see if where they fit in the market. What is going on in the market. So you have to keep on doing that. You have to network so that you know what is happening.
Okay. And you, Sanjana, how do you see this? Who gets the better opportunities? The one who is jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than the master of one? Or the one who gives 10, 15, 20, 50, 45 years to a same organization? Who has the better chances of getting better opportunities in different fields?
How I see this is, one, what Neelima mentioned is very correct. I was also reading to something and that mentioned, as important as it is to be loyal to your organization, the one you work for, you still have to always remain employable. So that due to any reason, if you cannot continue with that organization, be it by your choice, be it by the organization's choice, you're always able to continue on the goal. That could be with another organization, it could be by yourself. Bringing another perspective here is that having other learnings or other skills can also add to what you already are. For example, if I am good with, say, art or craft, it gives me a sense of bonding in my own team with somebody who's also good at that, which can increase my network and increase my bond with that person, and that could improve our quality of work. So if that addition is adding to what I already am with my work. For example, in my team itself, I have a UX designer who I'm good friends with because we share common interests. That is only possible because I had that interest and I shared that with them, and that is why the quality of work we are together delivering is getting better. So I already have one skill. The other skill added to our output. Had I not had that skill, it is not that I would not be able to deliver my work, but it's just getting better because of the other skill. And it's always giving me a break from that. So this could add to your network. This could add to why somebody could be interested in hiring you. In an interview, this is something that happened to me during graduation. During one of the HR interviews, the interviewer read that I was interested in painting, so he just asked me, how do you paint or what do you paint? And that conversation became the reason they hired me. It wasn't the skill, I had already cleared those skills, but that conversation made them choose me because I was able to express that interest in something better than other people could, because it was an HR interview. So that added value to it. So your skills never go waste. This is also something my mother tells me. Learning never goes waste. It gets used in some part or the other. So you can always use those skills in some other manner to move in the direction that you want to move with your bigger goal. The smaller things, the smaller achievements, always add to those.
Just to add to that, these skills may not get you hired. If you just know how to do art and craft, you are going for a software engineer interview, you know how to do painting, you know you are interested in reading, you have read so many books, you can talk about those skills may not get you hired, but they may get you the acceptance. They may get you into that room to actually start that conversation. The skills needed will be a software developer skills, that you know coding, you know those skills in and out. But these will get you the acceptance to start that conversation, that okay, apart from this, I'm also passionate about this and I can do these things, and we can have a small talk about it, we can have that conversation about it, help you network with people as well.
It also adds to your identity. Maybe somebody would remember me only because of that conversation, and that could make me stand out the next time they are trying to think of the other candidates. So that way also your skills can always be associated to you in the form of your image.
Similarly, there are multiple interests, people with multiple interests. For example, somebody likes cricket, so they can easily connect with a person who is also like cricket.
Exactly.
And Similar, same goes with the public speaking, Toastmasters, or anything else. But let's take a hypothetical example. Some other person who is a good people manager, who has been a people manager for the last 19 years, he has not even focused on developing any other skill, and also didn't focus on what ChatGPT AI can harm their profession. But they are doing their people management thing and not upgrading skills, but following the same routine for the last 19 years and doing the same thing for have a plan of doing it for the next 10 years.
So that's the problem. That's the problem. That we are doing the same routine work. We are not. That's what I said. Invest in yourself. Investing in yourself, even if you are learning one skill, even if it's people management, there are many multiple aspects in project management, people management, risk management. There are multiple aspects over there. Why are we not upgrading ourselves on a regular basis in that skill only? It's not necessary that we learn beyond that skill. It's never the utmost importance, because that is a skill which is required for me to do my job. But am I upgrading myself? Am I keeping up the pace with what is happening around me in people management?
Most of the cases, people don't see what is happening around them. What they see is what my manager wants, what my company wants from me, what they are paying for me. I should be doing that. This is what they see.
That's the problem. That's the whole problem. That's why I said be loyal to your company, but invest in yourself as well at the same time. The problem happens when we be loyal to our company, but we do not invest in ourselves. The problem happens only there. Why is it that all of a sudden ChatGPT will take your job? It's not all of a sudden ChatGPT came into picture. ChatGPT has been there for some time now, but we were never able to see that what it brings onto the table. If we are doing the work in the traditional way, we are not incorporating ChatGPT or AI into our job, then it will take our job. We have to
And one day this ChatGPT Gemini comes in and takes their job, and now people complain that companies are firing them.
Yes, that's the whole point of it. That you have to keep on evolving. And what happens normally is with people that they are loyal to their managers, they are loyal to their companies. They think that nothing can go wrong with them, but they do not understand that the landscape is very vast. The landscape is vast than their own company, than their own manager. So you have to keep going into that landscape and think from that perspective as well, that okay, something new is coming in, I have to evolve with it. Even with ChatGPT, what is happening, or AI, what is happening is that they are bringing different aspects of it into the job. Now, what people want is ChatGPT तो हम use कर लें, लेकिन हम अपना काम वैसे ही करते रहें, हम change ना. That is not possible. If we are bringing in a technology, we have to evolve with that technology. We have to meet it somewhere in a midway. We cannot be like कि हम अपना traditional way से काम करते रहे, ChatGPT हमें help करता रहे. We also have to go a step forward, see how we can evolve, how we can learn from that AI tool. So that is what is lacking in people. Education has to change. Education system has to change. The way we are doing our jobs has to change because of this AI. And everyone is impacted by it. It's not just one job, one person. Every other person is impacted by AI. Because it's the in thing right now.
I'll bring in my own example on this. Initially, I mentioned why did I stick with my company for a very long time. In the initial years was because I wasn't wanting to give an interview elsewhere, and I had come here without an interview. What I dreaded was the interview. Although I was a topper of my own college, I was the best programmer in my class. I was like the benchmark for the teacher, that this is the person, if she can answer this question, then I can, then the learning is going fine. I was topping my programming at that time, and that got me into my company. Then since the first day I had the same manager, and she gave me an opportunity to give a presentation of something I was working on. I was very good with my skills as well. For the 3 years, I was very good with learning, delivering the quality code, and she gave me an opportunity to present my work. Till this time also, my work quality, what was required out of me as a software developer, was going perfect. But when I had to present that, I could not. And that is where that skill, which wasn't really required as a software developer, came into a picture. I could not present my work. I am scared of giving an interview. And that is hindering me from going to the right direction or growing in my career. I can still keep learning on more programming languages. I can still deliver the best code. I could be the best person writing that code in my team. I could deliver the requirements really well. But if I do not learn the skill of presenting, I do not learn communication, public speaking in a better manner, I could have never grown from that just title of a software developer. I could not have been the team lead. I could not help my client refine their requirements better. So that is where additional skills come into the picture. They contribute to the same direction to grow in the role itself. It's not always that you have to find another direction with another skill. It also makes you grow in the same role itself. I am a better software developer because I have better presentation skills. I have better communication skills. That is why it is adding to the main role itself by being a support to it.
So can there be situations where, because you have been focusing on public speaking, leadership skills, and other communication skills also, so can there be situations software developers in your company might lose their job because of AI, but you might retain your job because you have been working on improving your skills?
Exactly. With AI, I can still always write code in a quicker manner, in a more efficient manner. I can write that code through AI as well. I can maybe deliver that in lesser time. But at the end of the day, to the client, I'll have to present that. And if I cannot present that idea to my client, ChatGPT cannot do that for me. It can still give me a presentation, but I'll have to take it to the client. So ChatGPT cannot take all your job away. It can add to it.
But yes, it can take the job of the developer who is only writing the
Yes.
codes.
If you're not upgrading yourself, then you should be scared of AI. If you're upgrading yourself in the direction to use AI as the one which uplifts you, you should not be scared of it.
One more thing, when you mentioned upgrading your skills, in software development field, upgrading your skills means from HTML, CSS to Python, Python to maybe .NET or Node.js, Nest, upgrading those skills, or the parallel skills like communication, soft skills like leadership.
All of those. And if I know programming in one language, ChatGPT can always write that code in another language. But to validate that code, I also need to have the understanding of that. It can write the worst performing code for me, but I'll only know if I have my basics clear, if I have the understanding of what it's writing. So you cannot 100% depend on AI. You can use it, but you'll also have to be smart to check if what it's doing is in the direction of what you want to give to the client.
So upgrading your skills, technical skills is important, but at the same time, upgrading your life skills or soft skills are much more important.
Both
Because
of
that
them are
will only
important.
save your job. in
Both
future.
of them are important. What would you present to the client if you do not have the technical skills?
But if
You
you know how
cannot
to,
just
if you know how to
give
use, if you know how to use ChatGPT well,
Yes.
maybe it can help you write better codes.
Yes.
If you have the basic understanding of how codes are actually written,
Mhm.
then you can use ChatGPT or Gemini to write your codes.
Yes.
But if you are upgrading your skills as presentation skills, communication skills, you can use that code written by ChatGPT and present it to the client, and of course save your job.
And both of them have
Are
equal
valid.
weightage. You cannot go in either of the directions. You'll have to take both of them together.
So नीलिमा संजना, हम लोग ने बहुत अच्छे डिस्कशंस किए related to thriving aspirers, your job, how ChatGPT can help or take away your job, everything. But thriving aspirers के ऊपर थोड़ा सा और discussion, I want to discuss more about on that thing. Thriving aspirers, what all do you provide there? I know that this is pro bono and everything. What all actually you provide in thriving aspirers? Spread more light on it.
So from Thriving Aspirers point of view, we are focusing on self-leadership along with image consulting. That is our major focus. So when we are talking about self-leadership, what comes into picture is how confident you are. Confident doesn't mean that you have to be very strong, build up, wearing good clothes. It's not just that. It can be a part of it because obviously image does make a whole lot of difference. But confidence also means that if you are there, you are your own self. You are not pretending to be someone else. So that is confidence. Confidence, your self-worth, how you can improve it, time management, how you are setting your goals. All these aspects come into picture when we are talking about self-leadership. So for example, we have a workshop that we did on time and energy management basically. Time is one thing that we can manage. हर किसी का 24 घंटे होते हैं, 24 घंटे से ज़्यादा किसी के पास नहीं होते हैं. We cannot add 1 hour to our day. But how do we manage those 24 hours? That is one workshop that we have done. We did it, I think, multiple times with different set of people. And we also spoke about how we can maximize our energy while also managing our time.
So for our audience, would you like to share something about time management and energy management framework? How do you follow it? How do you take care of this thing?
Yeah, sure.
I'll take one of the examples from the different frameworks that we talk about in this workshop. We talk about different techniques, but this one is something I practiced by myself and it did actually work for me. Is spending just 5 minutes to the job that you're trying to push away. I started this within this year itself. I was wanting to get back to reading, and what this framework suggests is to just give 5 minutes, and that is all that. If you want to start something, give it 5 minutes of your day. So when I wanted to go back to reading, I had books lined up, but every day it was like I had planned like it's a 200-page book. I'll complete it in a week, so let's divide it by 7. This is my one day goal. It did not happen for a week. It did not happen for a month. But then one day it was like I'll just read for 5 minutes. I'll stop after 5 minutes. I set a timer. I read for 5 minutes, and that day actually that task from the to-do list shifted to something I was able to do. The next day again only 5 minutes, and then with each day this becomes a practice. So when you have to manage your time, you have a lot of things on your to-do list. Just give it 5 minutes instead of procrastinating it. So you can learn to not procrastinate things by just trying it for 5 minutes, nothing more than that. An hour looks like too big to take out. Half a day, an year's goal, a 6 weeks goal looks very big, but a 5 minutes goal looks small enough in your head to start right now. And that is how you can learn to beat procrastination.
So this is for everything.
For
not
anything.
not only books, but exercise,
Anything.
health, anything.
Anything. Just give it 5 minutes
Fine.
of your day and nothing more. If you'll give your 5 minutes for even maybe a week, it will become a regular practice, and then you'll stop procrastinating it and it will become a part of your routine.
Okay.
Another thing that so this is about time management, but for energy management, this is a very simple thing that we sometimes don't do, is always restarting your day. For to restart your day or start your day, you have to first close your day. We never close our day.
Never
We-
close our day means
We never shut down. Have you ever seen that our system is always running? We do not go deliberately into a shutdown mode. So you have to put yourself into a shutdown. Have a shutdown ritual. A small ritual. Maybe it may be like sitting with yourself for 5 minutes before you go to sleep, or not looking at your screen for maybe an hour before you go back to sleep. Go to sleep. Shutting down your system, work or your personal systems. Shutting down it. That can be your ritual. Journaling can be your ritual. Have that shutdown ritual for yourself. If you have that shutdown ritual, you will be actually training your brain that now it's time to shut down, go back to sleep, regain your energy, and start again the next day. It happens with our machines as well. We have 50 tabs.
Rebooting that machine.
Rebooting that machine is one of the best things to do. But we do not, what we have to do is not reboot, we have to shut it down first. So do it daily basis, do it on a daily basis. Make it a ritual that you have to do it.
And that ritual can be in any form, be it journaling, be it writing, reading, or
Anything you can
just taking away time from your mobile screen, anything.
Anything. We are so into social media these days. Like we keep on scrolling, or watching, being on the blue screen for so long that it impacts our brain, our eyesight. Give it a break. You can meditate for 5 minutes. You can just be with yourself. Listen to some music. There's so meditational. There's a lot of meditational music, that the apps that are there. You can just listen to that music. To do anything, but make it a ritual that you will do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't have to take out like an hour to do it. You can just do it for 5-10 minutes. But make a shutdown ritual for yourself. So that is another thing that we can to regain our energy back. Normally, that's one of the factors. Time is one factor, energy is another factor. That we wake up, we're always tired. Why is it happening? Because we do not shut down. हमारा दिमाग हमेशा काम वाले मोड में होता है. Because हम कभी उस मोड में जाते ही नहीं हैं. So tell your brain, now it's the time to shut yourself down, sleep, regain your energy, come back the next day. Start it with a fresh mind.
Okay.
So that's-
Anything else
That's,
that would you like to add in the time and energy management thing?
I think these are the two things, the most important things that we also even follow.
So what do you think if somebody is managing these two rituals of spending 5 minutes daily on that particular job that they are procrastinating, and also trying this shutting down ritual every day for the next 21 days, what do you think can change?
And the first thing specifically with the energy ritual that Neelima mentioned is that you'll have more energy. The problem is we do not tell our brains that it's time to shut down. We do not tell our brains that it's time to recharge. We go in to sleep scrolling on the mobile. We never told our brain that it's now time to recharge, and that is why we always get up tired, and that is why you procrastinate, because you do not have the energy to work. Most of the things that we're not able to achieve is because we do not have the energy to put in there. And once you start telling your brain it's time to sleep, then it knows it has to recharge, and then you have the energy next day to start. So get into that routine, and only then you have the energy to work on all your passions, to not procrastinate, to achieve things, to move in the direction of your goals.
How human brain works is that it's bound to be lazy. It will work
Want to
on.
be lazy?
Yes, it's bound to be lazy. It saves as much energy as possible, because that's how human brain has evolved over years. That it will save as much energy as possible to do many things that our body requires. Right? So, if anything like reading, it's not something that is of utmost importance. Our brain will always tell your brain will always tell you छोड़ना क्या करना है. It will always tell you that. Okay? Anything that gives you instant gratification, it makes you happy instantly, like scrolling the reels. It will be like, okay, 2-5 minute के लिए reel देख लेते हैं, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? That is how it works. That is how our brain works. This is how. And अगर हमें अपने दिमाग से कुछ ऐसा करवाना है जो instant gratification से हटके है, जैसे पढ़ना है, कुछ भी करना है, तो we need energy. We need to give it energy. We have to tell it. नहीं हम we have to push it. So we need that energy. And अगर हम tired है, if we are not shutting ourselves down, we are not going into that shutdown ritual, we are always in that lazy zone. We will always feel that lazy. जो सबसे ज़्यादा important है वही हम करेंगे. हमारा जो why is everyone in this job hustle right now? Because job हमें लगता है बहुत important है. लेकिन ये कर लेते हैं, पैसा तो आ ही रहा है ना. End of the month पैसा आ रहा है. Security है, financial security है. We are not getting into learning, investing in ourselves because that needs an extra energy. वो अपने आप दिमाग को बोलना
The main
पड़ेगा.
reason why people are following the same routine for years.
For years.
You are not left with the energy to change.
You are not left with the energy. So वो energy आपको वापस चाहिए ना, वो energy कहाँ से आएगी? वो इन्हीं चीज़ों से आएगी. You need this to keep yourself thriving.
Thank you so much, Sanjana. Thank you so much, Neelima, for coming and sharing your experiences, knowledge with the audience, and especially helping me learn a lot of other things. अब मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया सीखने में. आप लोगों को कैसा लगा? How was your experience?
मेरा एक्सपीरियंस तो बहुत अच्छा रहा. बहुत सारी चीज़ों पे बात हुई और we get to know each other by this. It's always a two-way process. It's always learning from the other person. Maybe शायद मैं संजना से कुछ चीज़ों पे बात नहीं करती, उन चीज़ों पे भी आज बात हो गई. So it's always a two-way process, and thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much.
Same goes for me. I think it was a very good experience for me. I loved my experience here. I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from Neelima. Some things I did not know, I came to know today. And I think this way we'll also helping the audience, and also we'll get something from you.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much.